We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
Welcome to the office on Lagos Talks 91.3. My name is Michelle Ago. It's a beautiful evening here in Lagos, Nigeria. Time for us to get back to the office and discuss on ways that we can be better in our careers, make the smartest of decisions, get the right job opportunities, and do things that actually will prepare us and propel us to be the best versions of ourselves when we finally get to the pinnacle of our career. Now, on the office today, my guest is a very special one. She is currently the group head, Human Resources of Megalectrics Limited, operators of the Beat FM, Classic FM, Niger FM, and Lagos Talks FM. With over 15 years of HR experience with cuts across automobile, oil and gas, technology, and now the media. She's passionate about organizational development, change management, leadership, and career development. She studied English and Literature Studies at the University of Uyo, and the University of Lagos, respectively. She's a licensed human resource practitioner. She's also a full member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, CIPM, and the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development. She's passionate about human resource. She's a passionate human resource professional, a financial management enthusiast, and has attended several trainings in human resources and business management. She is an alumna of Fates Foundation, ILO, Start and Improve Your Business, Trainers Workshop, Finance for Non-Financial Management Workshop, etc. Now, she has so many years, which she has served on the executive committees of various professional, religious, social groups, and other committees. Like I said, she currently serves as the National Treasurer of CIPM. It takes a lot to have gathered all of these experiences. We bring you the best of people. We bring you experts. And today, we're happy to have Mrs. Chidinma Obiejesi. Welcome to the office today.
Thank you, Michelle. It's a great pleasure to be here.
I am so excited. This is different. I have a lot to say, but time will not permit.
Please hold it.
So this beautiful program is proudly brought to you by Lagos Talks and CIPM because we use this opportunity to educate listeners on ways that they can improve. Personal development is very important. And with you here today, you're going to share some of your expertise with us and answer some of the questions because our topic today is very specific to your experience. We're discussing how to become a strategic HR professional. Now, the HR practice is one of the most sought after professions in the world because every company needs an HR expert.
Of course.
And you are the group head of a very big media organization. And who else can we possibly speak to if not you? So I just want to ask a few questions. Briefly tell us what it means to be strategic when it comes to HR.
Well, Michelle, you see, to be strategic is not, it's a journey. It's not a one-off activity.
Okay.
To be strategic, especially when you are looking at organization, means that it's a business-wide philosophy that resonates throughout the organization. It affects everything from how and what they do, what raw materials are purchased, to how the organization provides customers with access to their resources or services, what support they can give, all that. People can look at being strategic from different angles, but I bet you there are some criteria that are constant.
Okay.
And some of those is that for an organization to say they are strategic, you'll see that it takes an outside-in view. It looks at things from outside. What this means is that its business model and how it does business, the operations and everything, thinks of what the customers want and not what they want to do. They may want to do X, Y, Z, but they consider what the customer wants first.
Okay.
And that is how they operate. The other one is that such organization or individual will be proactive.
Okay.
They take actions and do things when it suits them and not react.
Okay.
They don't wait for change to happen and they begin to run around to look for what's the solution, how would we do this. They plan ahead, they look at the trends, they look at what the market is saying, and they put plans in place to ensure that when that time comes or when that change comes, they easily fit in and they can continue to operate. That is the second one. The third one you also notice that everything within the organization aligns.
Okay.
It's not a situation where one department or the other is dedicated to pursuing strategy. No, everybody from the front desk to the on air to head of the company, everybody is aligned on the same goal and everybody is pursuing the same vision, the same purpose. For such organizations, you then say that they are strategic. With all these fundamentals, you also notice that, like so many other businesses, there are certain things. There are no magic formula for being strategic. Maybe a good way to define it would be that being strategic means ensuring the organization's core competence is consistently focusing on those choices that will best move the organization towards its new future with the least risk and in the most orderly manner. So you see, it's focusing on what is going to happen next year, what is going to happen in the future, and positioning the organization to ensure that they get there in an orderly manner.
Wow, that's very interesting. One thing I can pick from everything you said is the importance of monitoring trends. Because you're not there to serve yourself, you're there to serve the public and your consumers or your customers. So when you know what they want, you know what's obtainable outside, you know how to position yourself to make sure you give the consumers exactly what they need to grow.
That is it.
All right. All right. Now, as an HR professional, what do you need to do to become a strategic partner to the business?
Now, as a HR professional, to be a strategic partner, we have a lot of HR professionals out there. And reports have shown that about 75% of MDs or business owners, they will actually like their HR to be business partners.
Okay.
But we also found out that only 20% achieve this. So in order to grow ourselves and become HR practitioners, there are certain things we should do. One of them is know your business. We'll say know the business of your business. How does the business make money? The business you are presently in, how do they make money? While most of us probably have very in-depth knowledge of HR operations, to be a successful HR business partner, we have to understand the entire business inside out. Know how they make money, know what services they offer. We also take out time, not just to understand the product or the service, but also the business model of the organization. It's even possible that you spend time shadowing fellow employees in various departments to understand how they do it. You are here as on air, understand the process, what you go through to deliver on air. That is very key, because you can't give what you don't know. You can't begin to advise or write policies or provide interventions for something you don't understand. You need to understand what challenges they go through, know the strengths, and then also the pain points of that organization. Understanding each department and role actually works, and how it all fits together is the very first step in becoming very strategic in an organization. You also look at the big picture. Where does the organization want to be by next year, in the next 5 years? So it's not all about where you are now. The daily HR operation touches on every aspect of our business, from compensation and benefit to hiring to training to manpower. Everything is about the business. However, if we want to really be strategic, we can't constantly be handling it the firefighter approach. We need to be proactive. We need to be able to zoom out, look at the big picture, what is happening in the industry, what is happening with competition, where is the trend going, and then take time to assess the current state of our HR, of our role, see if it will take this organization to where it's supposed to be. That is what we should be doing as HR persons.
Wow.
Really.
Now, how does being a strategic HR professional impact the organization as a whole? When you're strategic, how does it benefit the organization?
A lot.
Okay.
The challenge most HR have is that some of us operate in silo. We shouldn't be. And the result of that is that we are disconnected from conversation and decision that is happening right there among leadership, as senior leadership. HR should be on the table, should be part of it. Because working in silo will foster misalignments. And what HR should do is to glue organizations together. If you check most successful high-performing organizations, they build alignment across team and departments. That is very constant. And HR is one department or one function that is uniquely positioned to enable and promote this kind of engagement when working together with senior leadership. They can't do that by operating outside.
Yeah.
So they need to be in there, they need to be on the table. HR is actually the glue that binds the team and the organization together, which means that it has a very high potential and a very high impact across the organization, from either behind the scene administrations to internal communications, leadership training and recruitment and onboarding program. HR plays very critical role and you cannot afford to leave HR behind.
Now, is being strategic something that can be learned, or do you have to develop it over time? Can you learn how to be a strategic HR professional, or you just let experience work it out for you?
Okay, I'll come to that.
Okay.
However, you asked an earlier question: how does HR practitioners impact on their organization? Some of the way they do that is that HR actually connects effort and initiative to business goals.
Okay.
In collaborating with leadership to communicate the company's mission and strategy. You know what they say, strategy is nothing without execution, and you cannot execute anything until you can get the buy-in of everybody. Everybody is aligned, they understand the mission, they understand where the company is going to, they understand where we are, where we want to be in the next 6 months, where we want to be in the next 1 year, where we want to be in 5 years, and they understand the strategy. That way the staff are not just more engaged, they are able to run with it. Unlike when you have, in some organizations, you get there and you have employees who don't understand what is going on. You see a kind of dissatisfaction among them. The one department that can help do that is your HR. Beyond that, they also build HR programs and policies and initiatives to help drive that strategy.
Yeah.
That's also one thing HR have to do. Now, to your question, how can your question
Yeah.
again?
Is that something you can train for, or experience will help you become a more strategic HR professional? How does it really work?
Well, being a strategic HR professional is something you can learn.
Okay.
Yes, there are some innate abilities every time, just like talking about leadership. But who says you can learn them? Whether it's in the long or short term, a strategic mindset is just about developing strategic mindset. And that can be developed through self-exploration, discovering yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses as an individual? What can you cope with? What are your stressors? What do you like doing? What do you love doing? If you know that, it will then be easier for you to begin to build how to develop strategic mindset. Also, critical questioning. Ask critical questions at every point in time. Try to find out why things are happening. Why is it this way? Why is it not the other way? Those are things we should do. And we should also embrace formal training. Okay. You can't take that away. There are organizations that you can learn from. For instance, CIPM offer trainings in such area, and it will be good to harness those training. Apart from that, also being part of a network, a professional institute like CIPM, where you get network, where you get learning. There are several trainings going on every month, every week in most of the various chapters. Those give you access to the trends, what is going on in the industry, what is going on in your profession. So you are constantly honing your skills. So some of those things are what we actually need to do. And although you might not have the right answers every time, even if you're a strategic HR professional, however, strategic thinking can empower you to spot new opportunities, both for yourself and for the organization. It can also address emerging challenges. You know, we say you have to be proactive. You need to see what is going to happen. Years before COVID happened, years before the pandemic came up, some people knew that work is beginning to change, and they took plans. Some organizations already had platform with which they can work even without being physically in the office. So that happened, and that is part of what being strategic could do for you as well. It could also, and then you are able to plan for future success, both for yourself and for the organization. Those are the kind of things that we need to do. And part of being strategic means that, or developing strategic mindset and thinking means that you are also able to have analytical skill. That is very key. Each problem and situation need to be analyzed. You are able to ideate a strategy that helps your organization to reach its objective. you must be able to analyze a variety of inputs, be it financial statement, be it KPIs, the market conditions, emerging business trends, and internal resource allocation. Those require your strategic analytical skills. How about communication skills?
That's also important.
Putting a strategy in place in your company requires that you are able to communicate well, because you need people's buy-in, you need to collaborate with internal and external stakeholders. And if you cannot sell this idea, it becomes complicated sometimes, and you then get a lot of pushbacks. You need to build consensus. You need to ensure that everyone is aligned and working towards the same goal at all central, and all that is central to be strategic. Those are some of the points we need to highlight here. Also, your management and planning skills have to be top notch.
Okay.
So you need to constantly build on that. That if you put all this together, you will then find out that you would be doing quite well as a strategic HR partner.
Some HR professionals find it very difficult to add value or create some impact in the organizations. Some of them might be listening to us right now and trying to learn from you. What would be your advice to them?
My advice to such HR persons is, one, they actually need to see the business through the lens of the business owners.
Okay.
Our role as HR is ultimately to help business grow.
Okay.
And everything we do should focus on driving high performance for the company, organizations we work for. And our people and culture strategy should be grounded in outcomes that the business want to achieve. You see where I'm coming from when I say understand the business. See it from the business owner's lens. See where the MD or the business owner wants the business to be. If you understand that, it will then be easier to design people's strategy and culture that will be grounded in those outcomes and drive those business strategies. That is one. And to do this successfully, we need a seat on the table. So you need to be where these conversations is being had, where it is taking place. My advice is not to hesitate. Some people sit on the sideline and wait, oh, I'm not being invited. We can actually take charge. We can invite ourselves to that table. I've seen so many people waiting to be invited. The role of HR is to build winning team. And a passion to drive that is very, very important. Another thing is that you need to build trust and credibility. Our credibility in HR is grounded in trust. We need to let our colleagues, the business owners and others trust us, the leaders trust us. To become a true strategic partner, the relationship between HR and business leaders must be high on trust. And we need to have an ability to raise that level of trust quickly. We should always ensure that we are there for them. It is actually a privilege that as HR, no matter how small you are, as long as you are the topmost, you advise the CE, you advise the MD or members of the executive team on very sensitive matters. We are placed in a position of trust, so we must not let them down. We have to have their back and to have to take our role very seriously. If we want to be strategic HR or at least to make impact, that high level of trust in our professional relationship, what we mean is that whenever they call on us, we should be ready to provide that coaching. We should be knowledgeable enough to provide that advice. It is very key. That coaching conversation is very key. Then our talent agenda. We should consider our people first, although not neglecting the business part of it. Because one challenge we also have is that as HR, we go in and we are always about people. And sometimes I've heard business owners say, am I running a charity organization? While we are driving our people agenda, we must tie it to outcomes in the business. Every business owner wants their business to grow. So if we are presenting, for instance, we need them to start working 3 days a week, we need them, you must let the business owner know of what benefit that is going to bring to the organization. Is it employee satisfaction? Is it high productivity? Is it reduced fat? We need to present that, and sometimes with enough data and information so that they can get us, they can see that we have the business in mind while coming up with these interventions. If we just go in and say, oh, it's about people, it then looks like we are on the side of the people, not on the side of the
How do you
business.
find that balance between trying to put the company's objectives first and also trying to put the needs of the workers or staff at par at the same time? Because the people, like you said, or the people like you said, are also trying to, they give so much, they also want something back in return to keep them going. Everybody needs that, whatever it is that they need. Some people, different people have different needs. So how do you tie, not knowing or understanding where the people are coming from, knowing the needs that they may have, but then realizing that that's not in any way, it doesn't in any way concern the business owner, because the business owner is an owner of the business. The person cannot see from where the people are. But you are that middle crossroad where you can please A, please B, everybody's happy. Staffs are very excited to work every day. MD is happy, seeing staff happy, going over and beyond, even more than they've been asked to do. How do you, as an HR expert or professional, find that balance to encourage the people while also driving productivity?
Well, maybe that is why we're knowing the business comes in. You know the operation of the business. You probably also know the numbers, how the business is doing. You know, one of my colleagues asked what keeps the MD awake at night. You understand that. If he's thinking of how to get money to pay salary, you understand that. On the other hand, you are also someone the people want to talk to. You serve as employee advocates. So then you take their needs and balance it with what the organization can give. And let me tell you something. Every business owner wants something that will make the organization grow, something that will impact positively on the bottom line. So every business owner is interested in people's agenda that will drive their business growth. So it depends on presentation then. Of course, employees will not always get all they want, but we can give some, take some. And if it's put in such a way that the business owner understands that these ones, it's not everything I've presented, but these ones I'm presenting, for instance, if we get to do it in this manner, if we tweak it a bit and do it, it's going to make the employees happy. It's also going to make them work better. Productivity is going to increase. Eventually, the entire business performance is going to increase, and we're going to make more money. So who wouldn't listen to that? So the truth is, we won't give, the employees will not get, the people will not get everything. Oh, I want a Ferrari, I want a I want a Mercedes-Benz. They won't get all that. But there are certain things that are basic that will definitely make them happy. Everybody will want salary increase every day, but can the company afford salary increase every day? No. But we can, as the HR, you can let them see that the way the business is going right now, we would be killing the business if we do this. However, maybe in the long run, at a point in time, we can do this. Or maybe we can do a little of this now. And then when you are also talking to the business owner, you are saying it that, well, I believe that we can do all this. But if we do this and do this, the employees will be happier and they will work better for us, rather than them going about, performance dropping, and they're not even happy to work. So there must be that balance, and it is in finding that balance that is critical, that is key. Because if you go on the people agenda only, oh, my people want to sleep at home for 1 week and then work the other week. Oh, people everybody wants a car. Oh, they want salary increase. The business owner is going to begin to wonder, so what's my HR talking about? Does the HR understand that we've not been making money? Does the HR understand that although we have some money, we have operational costs to attend to? Does the HR understand that the business needs to survive too? And the HR have to understand that, so that they can make proper presentation both to the business owner and to the employees.
All right. Now, with all that you've said, you've actually opened our eyes to the importance of having highly skilled HR professionals that are strategic, that have strategic mindsets, that have the valuable skills, that are even possibly partners of the business. So what would you say, or what would you advise organizations that still do not see the benefits of having HR professionals in their companies?
They are losing. They are losing a lot. As a business owner, it's easy to see HR department as a necessary component of business, but think that they don't add value to the bottom line. But they do. If you look at it from a different perspective,
Okay.
that may transform the way we see HR. When the HR team is viewed as a strategic partner, the department transforms from the room just full of clerks to talent development specialists. And as a business owner, actually, the business owners have a lot on their table. There is a lot they would like to think of to move the business forward. And what they don't want to be saddled with are things HR will do for them. Okay. For instance, they would want to build a company culture that is inclusive, that involves team bonding and ongoing employee activities. It is the human resource department that is the perfect place to look to for help. Your HR team is also trained, especially those that are certified and certified with CIPM. They are trained to handle these very tricky issues such as discrimination, misconduct, and other work infractions, instead of just letting them be police in the offices. Employees are not coming to work. Where is HR? Employees are not doing this. Where is HR? We could actually engage them to see how they can do something else. The HR team could pull together surveys to measure employee satisfaction and areas of discontent and concern, and this will help identify regular trends or gap in individual companies, and then possible trainings that will be required. For instance, employees, if you have high attrition in the company, HR may help through their exit interview to identify what could be the reasons for this, and the numbers would help point to the direction of what is happening. Mm-hmm. While you were asking me what it takes to be a HR person, a strategic HR person, one of the key things is also using data. In HR, we get a lot of data. Okay. Michelle, you don't come to work, we know. Number of times that they apply for leave, we know. Whatever sick leave, we know. But what do we do with this data? We need to mine them. That will give you a trend. You begin to see that, okay, maybe a lot of staff are beginning to ask for sick leave. You draw insights from that, and then you provide interventions. Maybe they are just overworked. Maybe there is something else wrong. Maybe they are just not happy. Employee well-being, mental state of mind. Because usually when you talk of mental health a lot, when people are not in a good mental state, it impacts on the job. You just see today, I need to go to the hospital. They actually go to the hospital, but the doctors don't find anything. And that also begins to impact on their performance. And if a lot of people do that, you can imagine what the company will be doing at that time. So it's key that you have an HR person, but don't engage quack.
They have to be CIPM certified.
It has to be qualified experts that are also certified. Because you see, a lot of business owners just believe that it's not HR. I can do it, my colleague can do it. You get someone who is an engineer, come and do HR. They do, but they need to also go back and be trained. You get someone who is an accountant, come and do HR. You need to get professionals who understand what it takes to run your HR department, and you can trust me. You won't regret it.
Yeah.
So that is something to look out for.
Wow, it looks like the HR profession is not just a highly sought after profession. It's also a very interesting one. I could listen to you for an hour plus, and I wouldn't know, because it's really revealing how much work goes into the HR. So it cannot be overlooked. And I think there's one spot you touched that is very important to the world we live in today: the importance of using data for better productivity. You cannot just show up and do things the same old way. Yeah, or or see HR space as a conflict resolution or just a middle ground. You need to be proactive. You need to use this data, monitor the trends within the organization, use the data for better decision making, and to push the agenda that you see, or to push the goals that you expect to align at the same time. So it's very interesting, and I would like to see if I have anyone out there who's trying to join the conversation. If you have a question as regards the HR practice or how to be a better strategic HR professional, you can join us via the phone line 0809 191-3913, 0809-222-0913, 0809-234-5913. You can also call the landline numbers on 01-515-0913, 01-515-1913. Lagos Talks, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Lady Day, calling from Leto.
All right, ladies and go ahead. We're fine, thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed the presentation. In fact, I learned a lot.
Okay.
I'm somebody that has really been passionate about HR. That was why I did my studies.
Okay.
And, for me, I tried to take a course in professional HR. So I haven't written the exam. So I don't really know, is it compulsory that one has to go through the what's it called, that the certified HR
CIPM? Okay.
CIPM, yes. Really compulsory that it has to be like that. What about the other exam like PHRI? Does it suffice as well?
Okay.
I just want to know.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kola.
Ladies A, yeah.
Ladies A, okay. The question you asked is very key, and thank you for that question. It's just like asking, should someone who wants to practice pharmacy in Nigeria, is it compulsory that they register with the Pharmaceutical Society in Nigeria? Yes, we have these other sister professional certifications, but they are not domiciled here in Nigeria. They will teach you the general HR practice. Yes, they tell you what goes on globally, but do they really teach you a Nigerian labor law? Which is what you would need if you need to practice HR here and ensure that your company is not exposed to litigation. So, like I said, if you want to practice pharmacy in Nigeria, you register with the Pharmaceutical Society. If you want to practice engineering in Nigeria professionally, you know where to go to. If you want to practice accounting in Nigeria and be recognized as such, you know where to go to. So, if you want to practice HR and you don't want to be a quack, you know where to go to, and that is CIPM. You contact CIPM, take their exams. Now, I must say something beyond just the... Okay.
Hello.
Let's take this call.
Yeah, thank you.
What's your name? Where are you calling from? Gabriel, go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much for the so I listen for times to...
The line is breaking. Can you just maybe move around or speak louder so we can hear you?
Okay.
Give it a shot. Go ahead.
Okay, so I heard how much was written about the balance between one management thing,
Too bad. We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you.
oh my.
Please call back. Call back. Lagos Talks. All right, keep the calls coming. 0809-1913-913. If you cannot reach us, you can just call the landline numbers. Maybe the line will be clearer. 01-515-0913, 01-515-1913. You can also tweet at Lagos Talks 913, or if you want to call us via WhatsApp or send us a message via WhatsApp, 0809-234-5913. Lagos Talks, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, so I was recording. And so she was trying to strike a balance between when the management thinks it's not just about people. Now, there are also cases where people, I think the employee now, thinks that HR is for management. So sometimes you are in that dilemma. So how will you strike a balance? How will you balance between what the management thinks and what the employees are thinking about that?
All right. Gabriel, thank you for calling. I think we already responded to that, but you can just summarize again for him.
Okay, maybe let's look at it from this angle. Yes, just like the employees think that HR is on the management side, management also thinks that HR is on the employee side.
Really?
Yes. I've had cases where management say, oh, Mother Charity, all you come to say is This one, this one, this. They want salary. They want this. They want that. Now, for HR to strike the balance, I believe that whilst we cannot get all the need of the employees, if we get some, and then let them know the reason why we can't get others, why management or the company may not be able to afford to do these other things, they will see that it's not like this HR is always on the management side. This HR too has been able to present our case and also introduce some interventions that would help us. But you know, it's difficult to please people. So on the management side, when they see that some of the intervention you have introduced also had positive impact on the bottom line, on productivity, that okay, because they have consented to some, the tendency,
And they've seen the outcome.
they have seen the outcome, the result is positive, they will also begin to trust HR to see that okay, this person, this HR too is also thinking about the business. They want to actually do more when you propose. And beyond that, they will also note that maybe when they will also know that when staff are not behaving in the right manner, that HR deals with it satisfactorily. I'm sure with that, it will give a balanced view of HR as a function and as a professional.
All right, we'll stop here for today because it's
Wow.
so, yeah. Thank you so much for
Just when
joining
we're
us.
enjoying the conversation.
I know, and time flies when we're having fun. But on this case, we're not just having fun; we're learning a whole lot. And you are such an amazing speaker, and I hope we have you back. I hope we have you back soon here with us on The Office. And for those who are out there wondering how to be a part of this, you can reach out to CIPM. But also remember that our guest in the studio with us is the current Group Head Human Resources of Megalectrics Limited, operators of the Beat FM, Classic FM, Nigeria FM, Lagos Talks FM, with over 15 years HR experience with cuts across automobile, oil and gas, technology, and the media. Thank you so much for joining us, Mrs. Chidinma Obiejesi.
Thank you, Mitchell. It's been a pleasure being here.
Yeah.
One thing I will enjoy talking about anytime, any day is HR.
Wow.
So I look forward to coming back.
I
and
cannot
thank you
wait
very
to
much.
have you join us.
Thank you, listeners.
Thank you for
and do
joining
enjoy
us.
the rest of your day.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Coming up next is Critical Thinking. Stay with
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.